everyone.
What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start?
Round one.
The sound of the bell. We're going to be breaking down this amazing card to finish up the year. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. I hope you reach your family and loved ones and all the, everything in the holidays flows correctly. That's what I'm trying to say because, man, I just think about some of these things and sometimes you can't get everything you want, right? But what's important is that you're with your loved ones or you're safe and you're having a merry, merry Christmas. From me to you, from Round One Sports Talk to everybody out there, Merry Christmas. Now, we have an amazing boxing fight card to end the year here. We have Naoya Inoue going up against Alan David Picasso. It's a very intriguing matchup in many, many ways, and we're going to break all of that down. So lock in, tune in. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, become a Real One Sports Talk member, and let's hop right into this episode. How's everyone doing out there in these holiday seasons? What's up? What's up? Salute Towers. How you doing? Way about Alan Picasso to Alan. Yo, listen. This fight is very, very intriguing in a lot of ways. And the more I started thinking about it, the more I started to break down this fight with Alan David Picasso. Because we also know that there is another fight in the horizon, and that's Junto Nakatoni versus Naoya the Monster Inoue. Both of these men are fighting on this fight card. This is going to be a very explosive fight card, but it is also boxing is also a game of chess, right? It is also a game of chess where that um uh boxers look for the future. Hernandez is Junto Nakatoni's boxing trainer and coach, right? And he came out and said that there was a point in time where Junto Nakatani could have sparred Naoya the Monster Inoue, and he suggested not to for them to spar because he knew somewhere in the horizon they were going to meet. But Junto did spar with an Inoue. It was just Takuma Inoue. So he sparred with him, right? So, because this is a game of chess in many different ways. Now, if you really think about it, what does Alan David Picasso look like? Think about it. He kind of favors who? Junto Nakatoni. He's a taller fighter, length. Think about it, people. I mean, they don't have like the same power, whatever, but Naoya Inoue is preparing for Junto in this fight. And how, think about the fight. Think about the situation, right? Both Japanese fighters are fighting two Mexican fighters, and both Mexican fighters are both undefeated. Both of them. Sebastian Hernandez is undefeated. He's got a big knockout ratio. Sebastian Hernandez is going to fight Junto. But there's one thing that I couldn't really shake. That Sebastian Hernandez does not favor Naoya Inoue. The only thing that he has is that he's undefeated. But I had to look into Sebastian You know what I'm saying? To like see what Junto, my man, is this mic working? Yo, you got ready for this dude? Yo, listen, how many times have I said this? Sometimes they have these like fighters that they dress up with undefeated records, right? We've seen it all the time. We've seen it countless of times. And then they don't look too good. But I say this all the time. You fuck around with the Mexicans, you gonna get a rude awakening. I'm trying to tell you. Go in one of them Tijuana bars and try to pick out one of them undefeated Mexicans, and you're gonna pick out a killer. You fuck around and pick out a killer, bro. Them Mexicans have gone out to Japan. They just upset it the night not too long ago, right? So this is a great rivalry. It is no secret around boxing in the lower weight divisions that Japan and Mexico, oh, they've had a thing. They've had a thing for many, many, many moons. Many moons. All right? And I'm going to tell you right now, I know what Naoya Inoue is doing. This mofo is calculated. Calculated. He is actually preparing for Junto. Yes, he is. He's look, Alan David Picasso right up his alley. I'm gonna tell you right now, Naoya Inoue. Yo, listen, I like the shit out this dude. I think he's special. All right, I think he's special. But I'm telling you, Japan, watch out for these Mexicans. Yo, listen, Naoya Inoue. Look, here's the thing, right? When I think about Naoya Inoue, the monster Naoya Inoue, by the way, I'm putting up his record right there. There's his box rec and Alan David Picasso, so that you are more familiar with both of the fighters and their records. If there's anything you want to talk about the fighters, put it in the chat. If there's anything boxing you would like to talk about that we'll touch on later in the show, we could talk about it, and I will be dropping the link. Now I'm going to pay attention because I'm going to have somebody come up and read the chats with me and stuff. So let me drop the link right now so that somebody want to volunteer, and as I go through my show, they can when I pause, they can read the chats for me, and you could be a guest on the show. So if anybody wants to volunteer to come up and read off the chats for me as I go through the show, I would appreciate that. I have a tendency of just getting into the show. I love boxing, love it, love it. So here's the thing though, right? With Naoya the Monster Inoue, when I think about a situation with him with fighting Mexican fighters, right? Okay, he's done this before. He's done this before many times. Hey, and he's 5-0 leaving Japan. Every single time Naoya Inoue left Japan to the UK, to America, wherever, to Las Vegas, wherever, he knocked out every person he left home. Every time he stepped off Japanese soil, it was to knock someone out and come back home. That's how he did it. And one of the knockouts was very, very, very impressive. Here we go. Low Nose Boxing. Low Nose Boxing. What's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. Getting ready for tomorrow, man. Inouye's about to take the Puerto Rican knee. Nah, I'm messing with you, man. Nah, I'm chilling, man. I'm in the crib right now, working out, doing some push-ups and shit, doing some squats. And I got your channel on the TV so I can see the chat if anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can you read off some of the chats now, starting from
Yeah.
Towers? Okay.
I'm waiting for him to pop up on my screen on the television because I just got on right now. I'm gonna see if it comes up.
Let me know
It should
when
be
you're
coming up. I got you as soon as it comes up.
All right. So, the thing is with Naoya the Monster Inoue, right? When I was telling you, and he was stepping off soil and everything, knocking people out, he came against good opponents. But one of the opponents that he came across was McDonald, the European champion over there. And the reason why I bring him up, because you got to bring up McDonald's height, how tall he was. He was an undefeated champion for over 4 years. He's never been knocked out in his career, coming up against Naoya Inoue. Now, Naoya Inoue at the time was coming up in the division. He was using the champion as a stepping stone in like real time. So McDonald didn't think that this 5'5" Japanese dude was going to pose any threat because how he towered over him. And I'm just pointing these things out that you see. My whole thing is Naoya Inoue has come against a lot of different styles. He came against boxer punchers, speed guys like Stephen Fulton, smart technical fighters like Donaire, young, hungry, undefeated champions like our Puerto Rican champion, Rodriguez. He's
So
come
real
against
quick, somebody
yeah,
named Akeem. It's not a super chat; it's a regular chat.
yeah,
Akeem
yeah.
Y says, "What you
I
said?"
can't hear I can't hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, it says Akeem Wise. Alan Picasso resume is lackluster. Hasn't fought an undefeated fighter in 20 or so fights. He's just not ready. Levels.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But the thing is that remember that Naoya Inoue once upon a time was supposed to fight Alan David Picasso in Las Vegas. He opted out of the fight. Naoya Inoue in between time he had 2 fights, and Alan Picasso did too. Some people say that that last fight with Alan David Picasso got a little bit of criticism for it or whatnot, right? But what I'm saying is this is that sometimes throughout a fighter's career, you're gonna be that young fighter that hasn't achieved anything. What you need to do is prove yourself. Once upon a time, Naoya the Monster Inoue had 5 fights, and he wanted to fight for a world title. And Hernandez gave him that shot, and he must have thought in his head, Jesus Christ, you guys are gonna put this guy with 5 fights. He's all of 20 years old at the time, Naoya Inoue, and he knocked him out. So if you think, and I thought that Naoya Inoue in only 6 professional fights became a world champion, I thought that was a fast rise. He got it out the mud. No promoter, no network, none of that shit. He just put me in there, coach, and he went in and showed up. So I can't take Alan David Picasso's, resume and lack of fighters and just write him off as a fighter. That he's so look, achievement wise, he can't stand in Naoya Inoue's, not even the hallway, they'll kick him out. He don't got credentials like that. But talk about an opportunity. Talk about a moment that can change your life.
That's how a lot of fighters become champions round one because a lot of people make a big thing about resume. And don't get me wrong, resume is important because that shows a level of experience. That was the case between Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. But there's been some instances where
Yo, you there? I lost you. I can't hear you.
damn, what about now?
Okay, I got you.
All right. There's been instances where you had guys that were undefeated, but they were relatively unknown, and they came out of nowhere and they showed out. Remember when Salvador Sanchez took on an unknown Azuma Nelson?
Yeah,
Even though Azuma Nelson lost that fight, Azuma Nelson put up such a great fight, and then he went on from there to become an all-time great. You know what I'm saying? When Trinidad came on the scene and fought Maurice Blocker, Trinidad wasn't this highly touted Puerto Rican like Miguel Cotto from the Olympics or Xander Zayas. Trinidad was fighting in obscurity in Puerto Rico in the bottom of Don King's cards, right? He came out of nowhere, knocked out Maurice Blocker, and turned out to be one of the greatest fighters in history. So sometimes guys come out of nowhere. Let's not forget
no,
Manny
I was
Pacquiao.
talking about that. Yeah, I was talking about that. I always say it. These Mexican dudes are dangerous, and
Yeah,
and you might not know a lot about them sometimes. Like the guy that Junto's fighting, for instance, Sebastian. I didn't know much about him, but he has a big knockout punch.
yeah, he got a high knockout percentage, man. It
Now,
means he got power.
now, Sebastian doesn't have anything close of the accolades of a Junto Nakatoni. I understand that. He doesn't. He's not there, right? But as far as like, okay, if we look at situations in boxing, right? I'm just talking boxing, guys. I'm not trying to put down any fighter, okay? So don't take it like this, right? But I have questions. I need answers, right? So once upon a time, one of Mexico Americans' best boxers down there in the lower weight division is Bam Bam Rodriguez. And once upon a time, Junto Nakatoni moved up to his division. Bam Bam Rodriguez moved down when Junto came into the division. Then when Junto moved up, Bam Bam Rodriguez moved up. And then now that he's moving up, he's thinking about moving up. And I always said was that in some like small circles, they were like, yo, Bam Bam Rodriguez, they're saying that he's the next thing, this and that. But it seems like he's not positioning himself or avoiding somewhat Junto, right? So, and then, you think about this, and then you think about the fights they want. Bam Bam Rodriguez versus Naoya the Monster Inoue, or No Monster Inoue versus Junto, or Bam Rodriguez versus Junto. Now, my opinion, stylistically, Junto's a nightmare for Bam Rodriguez. But Bam Rodriguez is a better fight for Naoya Inoue, in my opinion, because they're both roughly near the same height. It would be a more comfortable fight rather than seeing him Junto tower over Bam, and then shall he beat him? They're just gonna say he was just too big, too big. Where that and the way that Naoya moves and Bam moves, the speed and the angle cutting from Bam, I just think it would be a more challenging fight for Naoya Inoue. Because what Junto brings to the fight in actuality, I was breaking this down, was this. That in actuality, Junto hasn't fought the kind of fights the kind of fighters that mirror Naoya Inoue. Think about it. What fighter has Junto ever fought that's remotely close to Naoya Inoue? Any fighter. But Naoya Inoue has fought all types of styles, from the American slick style to the Philippines. He's beat them all. And I mean boxer punchers, technical boxers, brawlers, you name it. Lefties, southpaws, dangerous southpaws. Yo, he's faced it all. And that's my biggest thing. And then the way that I see that Naoya Inoue is his selection of opponent. He knew he was going to fight Junto. Remember all the evidence. Remember at the award ceremony when they were out there in Japan? That had nothing to do with anything. And Naoya the Monster Inoue took the time out to say, hey, yo, I want to fight you. So this was like behind the scene type shit. Naoya Inoue is really playing chess. And he's positioning the pieces for the mega, and I think he may end up at 126. I'm not sure if he calls it quits or anything with, Junto. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that, because boxing, when in recent interviews, like last year, Naoya Inoue was talking all that shit. At age 35, I'm done. I'm hanging it up. Then you see him on an interview now, right? And he's like, I don't know if my body still feels like it feels good. You hear that boxing talk. I've heard it 100 times when the guy's at the end. Hey, if I don't feel like I'm going down, then why stop? Right? You hear them, right?
I got to
So
take this call round one. I'm going to
yeah,
jump
go
back
ahead,
on with
brother.
you.
Yes, go
Have
ahead,
happy
brother.
holidays. God bless you and your
Yes,
family, man.
absolutely. And you hear these guys, right? And they start to like, they don't want to call it quits for whatever reason, whether it's for the love of the game, the bright lights, the crowd, whatever it is for that fighter, for whatever reason they don't want to let go. But some guys can walk away from their beloved sport at the right time, or when, like Kobe Bryant, like when Kobe retired, man, he stayed retired. God rest his soul. But he was going to stay, he was going to stay retired. He was in other business endeavors, and he transitioned to his next part of his life, the next part phase in his life. And he looked like he was doing a good transition, you know. Some guys just can't stay away. They always got to come back. So you can never tell that with these fighters. I thought Floyd Mayweather was going to fuck up his resume like every great legend. I really did. I thought he was going to, at some point, he was going to come back for the money and they were going to beat him and he was going to get that loss. And that was it. But he retired well. He retired well. So I got to give Floyd that. He protect his resume, what he built, his dynasty. He will not allow it to crumble on, him going in there being 50 years old, fighting some 25-year-old champion because, I hope that never happens, because you never know with these fighters. Shit, look at Manny Pacquiao. Damn it. You know what I mean? He's in there again. So we'll see. We'll see. But to stay on topic, I see a lot of things in this fight with Naoya Inoue and Junto. I see that Naoya Inoue is a problem. He's a problem. And Rudy Hernandez, Junto's coach, knew that. But they've been studying Naoya Inoue for a very long time. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. If you give a great coach with a great insight and a great mind, and he has a great pupil, you can develop a game plan to beat a great champion. Terrence Crawford versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. Bomac and them came up with a great plan, and Terrence Crawford was the great student, right? And they pulled off the heist of the century. And they got away with it. Junto Nagatoni and Rudy Hernandez, I can't put it past them that Rudy has been also thinking chess. And you can tell by his instructions of ordering his fighter not to spar with him way back then. Rudy saw Naoya Inoue a long time ago. And he's probably been watching him for a very long time, studying all his mannerisms. There's certain things about boxers that they've been doing since they were a kid. Certain tales, things that, habits that they can't shake. Or if you could put him in this situation, he always does this. Whatever it is, Rudy has figured it out. And he's been molding and preparing his young Jedi. You know what I'm saying? And Junto Nagatoni. And he's been like, you're ready, son. You're ready. They went and gave him the attire. You're ready. Yo! It's gonna be crazy! This is gonna be crazy! Oh man, listen.
The champ is here.
Listen, people. This fight right here, man. This fight right here. Woo! But these both gentlemen have a big test. I don't have to say it again, do I? Listen, I know that these two Japanese dudes are supposed to win. Let's not be blind. They're supposed to win. Right? But isn't this boxing? Anything can happen. Shit. Y'all, there are people out there that still have not stopped talking about Naoya Inoue getting dropped in his last few fights. Not once, but twice. Right? And the world can't stop talking about that. Why? Because you don't got nothing else. You don't have anything else. When a guy is so dominant like the Naoya Inoue, had he not got knocked down 2 times, You know what you guys would be left with? He lost this round against this guy. This guy broke his orbital bone, had him all bleeding. That's what you would be left with. And then you can't say Naoya Inoue has ever been trailing or down in the scorecards in any of his fights. Like, you won't be able to say, oh, in this fight he was getting his ass whooped. Nope. Not a guy that won over 90 plus percentage of all his rounds. He's so dominant. 26 world title fights in a row. He has all 4 belts. He broke the record in this modern era, in a 4-belt era, of defending 4 belts. He fights 4 times a year. He's a 4-division world champion. Fuck out of here, bro. That's ridiculous. That he's doing video game shit, bro. If I was playing Undisputed and I built a guy and I came up and I had that kind of it would be a video game resume. This guy's actually doing it. He's walking in places, knocking champions out in 1 round, walking off with a belt, entering World Series of Boxing, wiping down everybody in World Series, walking off with the trophy and all the belts, unifying belts, declaring himself that I'm going to move up to the next weight division. Only 30 days of obtaining all 4 belts. He vacated all the belts back into the pond, said, fighters, I will not hold up fighters' dreams of becoming a world champion. They said, no, yeah, in a way, you can hold on to your belts. You can hold just in case you lose. And I ain't losing nothing. I'm going up there to fight undefeated American star Stephen Fulton, and he has 2 belts. And they said that his style was my kryptonite and that he was going to wipe me down. I'm so confident in my ability. Take your belts. I'll go in there as the champion. Don't worry. By the end of the fight, I'll be a unified world champion. And that's exactly what he did. Undefeated Stephen Kubo Fulton did not win 1 round against this Japanese dude. With his speed, his jab, all of that shit, his good footwork. You heard all the shit coming into the fight. That Naoya Inoue was done, son. He ain't never fought the American slick style. He's done. What? Did the American slick style even show up in that fight? That shit got shut down, bro. Shut down. That was a masterclass performance by this Japanese dude, bro. Yo, I was shocked. Going into the fight, I had Naoya the Monster Inoue, right? Because I knew what I saw for talent. But you're always nervous. You're like, wow, bro, this is America, Edwin. I'm like, damn it. But at that time, when I was doing this, I was so backed up against the wall with everybody because everybody was calling him a hype job. Remember, in the Stephen Kubo Fulton, they were saying how much Naoya Inoue, the corruption in boxing, and that Bob Arum and Top Rank were dressing up this dude because we all know these guys, they look good for a little while. Once they start fighting the top guys, you know what I'm saying? You see what Vasily did to their top guy, right? Lomachenko destroyed him, right? We, including myself, in the beginning, I thought Naoya Inoue was just going to fall off. I was like, yo, pretty impressive start of your career. Yay. But wait until you fight some of the bigger. Man, listen. He wiped everybody down. He made everybody recognize that he was not a hype job. And Scooter found out way too late. He was way in over his head. He got a good payday out there in Japan, but it wasn't really a competitive fight. And the monster proved to the world. And I think that at that point, man, the world should have really paid attention. Instead, they just doubled down on their lies. They went from calling him a hype job to saying that it was hand wraps, steroid allegations. I mean, they used everything to tarnish this man's name. Why? Because they really couldn't beat him in the ring. And then they couldn't believe how hard he was banging. Every coach yelling, I want those hand wraps inspected. I want the gloves inspected. And after every boxing match, the boxing athletic committee grabs the hand wraps, grabs the gloves, inspects them, clear. What's your excuse now? No, your guy just got his ass whooped. You ever think about he's just better? Why are you always these conspiracy theory? No, this, that, he's got to be doing this. Bah, bah, bah. No, he's just dedicated. He's fighting 4 times a year. Your guy's barely fighting 2 times a year. He's just, his approach to boxing is different than yours. And a coach, rather than saying that he was outmatched, they got to start putting out, well, no, they made us do this and do that. Man, listen, Naoya Inoue has never put none of these kind of like claws and shit on his fighters. He doesn't fight for interim world titles, so you can't say that his resume is padded. We did his Wikipedia yesterday. You saw that. He fought, what was it? 15 world champions. He knocked out 13 of them. That's ridiculous. Out of like every division he's been in, he's probably like, he had like, it was ridiculous. I gotta look it up. I don't want to guess numbers, but I could look it up at any time. And we had his chart up. And the things that he did, like the opponents I was trying to think of, how many? I think it was 7, 7, and 8. Because I wanted to give you a number where that roughly around this time in his career, he only stays in a 1 weight division like that. He fought like 7 guys in 1 weight division, another 7 opponents in 1 weight division, and then another in 1 weight division, he fought 8. And then every time he's moving up, it's around that number. So I think right now, what is it right now? How many fights? What was it? He started with Stephen Kubo Fulton, Marlon Tapales, Louis Nari, right? TJ Doheny, right? Yi Young Kim, right? And MJ, right? Am I missing anybody? Let me see. Hold on. How many fights is it? And okay, then this would be 7. So Alan David Picasso would be 7, right? Wait up. I gotta see. I gotta look. I gotta pull up his shit. Okay. Let's just go all the way down. Okay, so we got Martin, MJ. Oh, Roman Cardenas. Fucking shit. Roman Cardenas. So yeah. Roman Cardenas is in there. That's right. Yeah. So from the top, Edwin. Take it from the top. Stevie Kubo Fulton, Marlon Tapales, Luis Pantera Nari, TJ Doheny, Yi Young Kim, Yi Young Kim, Roman Cardenas, and then MJ. That's how it goes, right? Right? I named off all the names and forgot to count. Great googly moogly. Okay. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. So that's 7. So he's already fought 7. Shit, he's on the high number on this weight division. He'll be fighting his 8th fight with David Allen Picasso, then 9 with Junto Nagatani. Yeah. So the 120, he's maxed out, bro. He's maxed out. He's maxed out. Because, for instance, right, he fought 7 opponents at the super bantamweight. He knocked out 6 of them. He fought 7 opponents in the bantamweight division. He knocked out 6 of them. He fought 8 opponents in the super flyweight, and he knocked out 7. And in the regular flyweight, he fought 2 opponents and knocked out both of them. He has 16. He fought 16 current or former world champions, and he knocked out 13 of them. And in 24 world title fights, he has 21 knockouts in 24 world title fights. So, you forgot TJ Dillashaw? No, I got him. Yeah. Ramon Cardenas. Yes. So, yeah. He's a little maxed out here, guys. You got to think about this, right? And that's why, I'm making a count, because the most opponents he ever fought in one weight division was 8. 8. That was the most. And he defended that title in that division, and then he just moved up, and it was like 7-7. So I was convinced on his 7th fight he was going to move up to 126. I think it would have happened had he not got knocked down by the first one in the Tokyo Arena with Luis Pantera Nari. I think he would have been at 126. And then he has another fight and gets dropped again. His father was definitely like, "You're not going up to 126. Get your ass back in the gym." You know what I'm saying? I think that had, let's be honest. I'm only assuming here because this is my opinion, but I think that had something to do with it. The fact that he got knocked down, and and then, like, let's remember, this is Naoya Inoue's 5th weight division from the division he started. Remember, he has belts in 4, but this is his 5th. Because he started from 108, he's at 122. That's 5 weight divisions. He might be maxed out and as far as he can go. Remember, the great Mayweather got 5. Terrence Crawford got 5 weight divisions. Okay? So Naoya needs one more weight division to get in the room with them. You understand? As far as accomplishments and everything, when it's all said and done, it's gonna be frightening for Naoya Inoue's record. It's gonna be frightening. I can't right now. I cannot stamp Naoya Inoue as far as like GOAT status. I can't stamp him yet. But I'm not blind. Ray Charles can see that storm that's coming from Japan. It's gonna be crazy when they open his resume and they gotta accept the truth. I'm not sure if these guys had like Terrence or Floyd, Oscar De La Hoya. I'm talking about the greats. I'm not sure if any of them have figured it all out. I mean, when I talk about all Naoya Inoue shit, you could see on the surface, you see belts, you see divisions. That's not what's going to solidify him. It's the way you did it. And that, my friends, is what's going to separate Naoya Inoue from all these guys. It's the way you did it. It's your opponents. How many champions did you fight? How much was on the line? And how much did you risk? A fighter's always fear is that they'll take it all away from you. How much did you risk? For instance, Terrence Crawford's getting a lot of scrutiny because he never defended any of his 4 belts. After he basically left 147, he never defended another belt. None of the undisputed titles, 147 or 168, or the belt at 154. Right? So how much risk did he take in his career? How much opportunity did he give another individual to take his spot? And how much of a king were you? Who did you slay? How many battles have you won? When it's all said and done, Naoya the Monster Inoue's record is going to eclipse these guys. He won 8 belts in 1 year. 1 year, he won 8 belts. When they released that dragon from Japan after that COVID shit epidemic, when he came out of COVID, Naoya Inoue took over boxing. This in America, we just didn't know about him because it was going down over there. That mofo can't walk outside Japan. He'll stop traffic. Naoya Inoue will shut down a part of Japan. He got like this Michael Jackson fucking following. It's like just waves of people and shit. It's fucking crazy. But we didn't know anything about it. And then all of a sudden, he really proved himself in boxing. He's made so much noise that here we are. Here we are. And I really regard him as the best complete fighter I've seen in quite some time. He's just overall, his overall grade, when you assess Naoya Inoue like the way I assess him, and you're looking at everything with every fight, the adjustments, the power, the speed, the accuracy, the timing, the ring IQ, the ring generalship, and the way he transitioned throughout all divisions. Naoya Inoue did some remarkable shit at one time when he jumped past the 112 and went right straight to the 115. So he vacated one of his belts, jumped over one weight division, went 2 weight divisions, jumped over, and fought the champion immediately. Knocked him out, walked off with his shit. So when you look back at his resume and they say, has he ever jumped over a weight division for the champion? Yes. Check. Has he ever had all 4 belts? Yes. 2 times. Check. How fast did he get belts? He got 8 belts in 1 year. Check. He fought 26 consecutive world title fights, and he broke the record in defending all 4 belts. Now a record 6 times. Check. He became a 2-division world champion in 8 fights. Check. He became the first bantamweight super champion in undisputed and bantamweight history. Check. Yo, stop it. He's not retired yet. You're going to have to add some more shit on this. What? Oh, he's got 4 divisions right now. If he gets to 126, that'll be 5. Check. Yo, listen. When it's all you can't. I know all these things, but they don't really matter right now. It's not when it comes into play. What comes into play now is what have you done for me lately? What's your next fight? We live in the now. Most boxing fans, yeah, you did all that great shit, but what are you doing right now? Who are you fighting next? We want to see it. So that's not when this argument comes into play. That all this remarkable shit is just lying on the surface. But that shit, when it wakes, oh my God. You ever hear the expression, shit hits the fan? Man, listen. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Yo, fight fans, don't forget to hit that like button. It's going to be tough to deny this dude. It's going to be really tough, man. He's going to pass a lot of guys like Sugar Ray Leonard, Maurice Hagler. He's going to pass a lot of them dudes, you know what I'm saying? And then the argument, what it's going to be is, right, this is the catch-22 in boxing. This is what it is, right? That when you're in the game, they compare you to everybody. When Naoya Inoue gets criticism, he's compared to who? Terrence Crawford, Usyk, he's compared to all the other guys rather than in his division. But when he retires, you know what they're gonna say? He can't be better than the great Sugar Ray or Floyd. Why? Because he's not in their weight division. So we would have to just judge him. He was the best middleweight. He was the best flyweight. He was the best cruiserweight, etc. That's when they want to judge you for only your division. Then they'll just say, no, he was just the greatest bantamweight of all time. But these guys were the best welterweight, you know what I'm saying? You know, middleweight and all that shit. That's when they'll use the divisions. But while he's active, they compare him to everyone. And that's the fucked up thing about boxing. It's the same thing about having 4 belts. You damn if you do, you damn if you don't. Why? Because if Terrence Crawford goes up in there and beats Saul, you only beat one guy for 4 belts. It's not like Terrence, you went up to 168 and wiped down the division. You didn't beat every champion individually. The most prestigious way. You see? So, but isn't that guy with 4 belts the strongest champion you can be? You're not fighting a guy with 1 belt. You're not fighting a guy with 2. Shit, not even 3. He has all 4 belts and the Ring magazine. That proves he's the king. If you beat that kind of champion, wouldn't it be better than beating a 1 belt champion? That's that shit in boxing I'm talking about. That's that shit. You damn if you do, you damn if you don't. And that's what they're gonna say with this Inoue dude. When he starts 1 foot into the Hall of Fame, that's when shit's gonna hit the fan. That's when what he did, that's when it matters. Right now, they're like, man, listen, who you fighting next? That's all the fans want to see. But when you start to crack this dude's resume, man, I'll put that shit on up here. You guys know? It's fucking ridiculous. I ain't never seen anything like this. You gotta step back and think about this shit. There's no American champion I know that with his run was this dominant. Terrence Crawford has great awards, a big accolade. You know, he got to the 3 divisions, but he didn't have a dominant champion run. He didn't wipe down champion after champion. He didn't solidify his dominance. He was kind of like step in, step out, step in, step out, and win he did. But it wasn't like nowhere near Naoya Inoue's run. Naoya Inoue is fighting 4 times a year with 4 belts right now. That's the situation he's in. He has 5 belts because he also has the ring. And when guys are coming up to fight him, they're losing. He's fighting all the top guys, everybody, all the number 1 guys, everything. MJ was a number 1. He's coming into David Allen Picasso, which is a number 1. Mandatories. He fought 2 mandatories back to back. He's the only champion that had all 4 belts that somehow is keeping them all by honoring everything they tell him to do. You know what? Nope, we got another killer right here. This guy's gonna beat you, Neil. Next, who's the next in line? Him? Go get him. Tell the other guy I'm coming. Who's next in line? You? Oh, you wanna hide? You wanna go in witness protection program? You wanna avoid me? I gotta beat up these people because of you? Shall be it. He is truly the definition of I don't care who it is. Naoya Inoue is the true definition. I don't care who you get. Just get him in the ring. Make sure he has a pulse. And let me know when the fight's. I'll be right. I'll be there. That's it. He is the true. And this is probably one of the greatest skilled well-rounded fighters I've seen in quite some time, and they call him a hype job. They try to discredit his skill because maybe he doesn't look like they do. Maybe they don't like that anybody else is better than their race or their country for whatever reason it may be. But they're blind to the fact that this guy is very talented. And I'm not trying to sell you on the fact you got to just, stop your fighter. No. I'm bringing to you, there's more boxers out there. Stay a fan of your favorite fighter. But if you want to see a great boxer, an elite boxer, one of the best that's doing it in the game, you got to admit, no bantamweight in history has ever made that kind of money. He's the Floyd Mayweather of the bantamweight divisions. That everybody at 126 won't unify or risk the fact of losing their spot at the Naoya Inoue sweepstakes. Can we all agree to that? And that he has guys, champions, 3 division champions, vacating their belts, moving up to prepare to fight him, Junto Nakatoni. Everybody wants the sweepstakes fight. Everybody wanted to fight Saul, and everybody wanted to fight Tank. Ain't that the way it is? The difference between Saul and Tank, this mofo is cleaning them up. He's fighting 4 times a year. He's like, next. Saul's like, vacation. I'm done for the year. 2 fights. Terrence Crawford's like, I'll see you next year. This dude, 4 times. Come on, people. Are you not entertained? Like, Jesus Christ. Bro, I mean, it's cool to sit home and say, oh, all right, well, he's fighting 4 times a year, so what? Right? That's easy. To do it is not so easy. And at the level that he's at with the size target on his back, some of these guys, you have to understand, get complacent, where they feel they have no fighter that's on their level or bring the dollar amount value. Tank Davis stopped fighting fighters because he didn't feel they were on his level. He's a bum. He don't sell. He none of this. Excuses. Saul Canelo Alvarez must have felt like he needed a dancing partner that can sell some tickets just like him, or he focused on the fact that it was all him. And he didn't need any star big enough because he'd take more of the pie because I'm selling the tickets. You see, some of these fighters get complacent where they don't feel like Tank lost his mind. He thought he had a crown on his head. He was like, beg me for the fight. Beg me. Get all of you, gravel at my feet. Beg me to fight me. Tell me, you eat him. You kill him. Yes. Devour each other. Yes, like dogs, cat. Yes. You know, that's Javante. He lost his fucking mind. And then the guys, they were forced to be like, yo, Javon, fuck it. We don't need you. But Naoya Inoue never got complacent. In fact, guys asked for more money. Naoya Inoue gave the money out of his fight purse to fight him because they fucking maxed themselves out. And he was like, you want more money? Here, take it. Here, just fight me. Bro, he never asked if the fighter sold tickets, if they had a big network. He didn't care. If you made your way up that ranking system and you were the next guy in line, he honored that. There's no higher way or level that any boxer in today's era did it on that level. And then when he fought those world champions and the number 1 contenders, the way he did it, Naoya Inoue has never been down on the scorecards in a fight, and you got to get past 5 to consider those, right? Never been down. He's won the majority of his rounds. He dominated it in all world-class title fights. He's undefeated, of course, right? 4 divisions. So, yo, my man, like, he's different. He's different, man. He's different. He's truly different, man. And like, look, anybody can be beat. As a young man, I consider myself pretty tough. But my mom always told me, you think you're the toughest little motherfucker on this neighborhood. Keep walking around, and soon as when here comes that man, he gonna whoop your ass, you know? And it happened. It happened. Yes. You know what I mean? But I made sure that it didn't happen. Far in between, bro. Far in between, you know. But yeah, yeah. I think any boxer can be beat. Just has to have that right style or understanding and right game plan. And I think Rudy Hernandez, and Junto just could be the fighter that could pull it. We're gonna have to see. I got Naoya Inoue in the fight. When I already said that, and that's never gonna change for me. When Junto Nagatoni and Naoya Inoue meet, I got Naoya Inoue all down, hands day, 100%. Sorry, Junto, I love you, my man. Had it been any other fighter, Junto, I got you. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. Junto, you've been an underdog in a couple fights, right? So come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even if you lose, I think you'll be back. You'll be a champion again. You got the skills. Yes. This is just Naoya Inoue. That's it. So I got him in the fight. But as far as this card right here, yo, Mexico and Japan, bro. Woo! I love it. I love it. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Good morning. Great googly moogly. Look at all these chats. I got to catch up. Where the hell is front line? There's levels. What'd you say? There's 11 shows that. Yeah. He's just Georgie. Look, Georgie Martinez. That phrase gets thrown around in boxing. Oh, there's levels to this, right? And until you see it, that you don't fully understand it. And then there's some fights that you see that a guy was quickly rushed up to the top and he wasn't quite ready for the real middle part. Those dangerous guys that were lurking, just waiting to get their opportunity, but never got the phone call, but they're good enough to move up the ranking. You got to get that past your career. Edgar Berlanga and Shiraz. And it showed that Berlanga got a real jump with Saul. Because he had already hit the top of the pinnacle, but he didn't get through the gauntlet. And those guys were waiting saying, bro, he got the fucking phone call. But I swear to God, Edgar Berlanga, if you ever fall from star status down here, we gonna get, and it happened. He really needed to learn that part. And that's warrior school right there. And he missed that part, and you see it. When we say there's levels to this, there's sometimes you see you're fighting, you're all high in your fighter, then all of a sudden he goes in there against a guy that was levels above him, but your fighter was so dominant against these guys, they didn't let you see it, and then he gets his ass whooped masterful. Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford. You thought Errol would at least either beat Terrence Crawford or give him a way better fight than what occurred in that ring in that night. Then Terrence Crawford taught you the lesson. There's levels to this. That's the fight that taught you that. A lot of these fights teach you these lessons. And that's when you'll see it so apparent. Because, you know what I mean? It won't be like a close fight and you got to like break down. It won't be like one of those technician fights. Those slick ones inside. Oh, I didn't see that before. I had to watch the fight 3 times to see some of this shit. Not one of those. This was a one-sided event. levels to this. Yeah. So, but the phrase gets thrown around so much. But I believe that even a guy that hasn't had, and you can't say Junto is not an accomplished fighter. It's 3 weight divisions. He doesn't have quite the resume that Naoya Inoue has. He hasn't fought that, and then he hasn't fought a lot of styles neither. Junto. It seems like all the guys I'm not going to say all the guys, okay? But the majority of the guys he fights have a certain, you ever notice that? That Junto fights are the guys that he fights, they kind of like are the same in a sense. Not completely, but no, I can't think of that. And then that controversial fight that Junto had, right? And I think they awarded that as a punch, and it was a fucking elbow or headbutt or some shit. Remember that? I forget exactly what the controversy was. I'd have to go back and look at that fight again. But I remembered it when the fight happened. I didn't really walk away from that fight saying that Junto was this fucking animal or beast. They had stopped the fight in it, but I really didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that by that performance from him at all. And then, I look at Naoya Inoue's last fight, and there's a lot I can take from that MJ fight. There's a lot, just because of the fact that the previous fight he got dropped. And I always felt that Shingo was going to tell Naoya Inoue, I want to see you more focused now in the fight. And that he probably felt that Naoya Inoue fell in love with his power. And he was looking for a knockout, and he got caught in a punch. Had he been doing what Shingo wanted him to do, which was break him down round by round basis, and you'll know as the fighter the when and the where. But I want you to not skip something in the fight with this guy. Naoya, he's much dangerous. Naoya said, Dad, I got this, went in, boom, got caught. He's like, oh shit. And then he did what he had to do. So, and then the MJ fight, that's why I felt this way. Maybe he was trying to knock out MJ, and MJ was just that good. And I watched that fight again and again, and I said, nah, I just feel that if Naoya Inoue at sometimes wanted to step in the danger zone a little bit more in the fight, which he didn't. He kept great distance. He fought well on the outside mid-range. When MJ pressed him, he did great. He just did great. Naoya Inoue, he shut him down. He shut MJ down, and MJ's a big puncher. He is a big puncher, but he shut him down, man. Shut him down. And that's why I like this fight a lot, for Naoya Inoue against Alan David Picasso, because he just reminds me a lot, now that I think about it, of Junto. Size, everything. He's kind of like little jerky, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, fucking Naoya Inoue is sizing this guy up, and this guy is just picking anybody, but his opponent is not like a speed. He could have got like a Mexican speed fighter, like somebody that would have, not such a big puncher, fuck, let's think about this. Who could he have gotten? Well, there probably would have been a guy there that we probably wouldn't have been so familiar of, but he was the right pick, and they avoided him. Junto should try to prepare more for Inoue. Not just prepare in the lab, in the gym, but also prepare in opponents. You know what I mean? I mean, the last Japanese dude, 21 in belt. I mean, you can say, but other than the fact that he's Japanese, right? It's gonna be hard to remember, get guys like Inoue, but they are out there. There's guys that are like him that are out there that you can fight against. They're not gonna be Inoue, but roughly, you know what I mean? So and for me, my personal, he hasn't fought enough styles, Junto. He really hasn't. No, he hasn't fought as many styles as Naoya Inoue, and the way Naoya Inoue adapts to every style. For Jesus Christ, when have you ever seen Naoya Inoue fight in the Philly shell? When? The time he fought in the Philly shell, guess what? When it was Stevie Kubo Fulton. He literally beat him in his own style from round one. Naoya Inoue came out like this in round one. The Philly shell. That's Stephen Kubo Fulton shit. He literally beat him in his own style. That's crazy. He took what the best you're in and taught you a lesson in it and said, no, you're not that good in it. I'm even better in your own style. In fact, I'm going to whoop your ass in your style. And then the punch selection was off of the Philly shell. Remember, Naoya Inoue was like this, stab down to the body, straight shot. He taught Stephen Kubo Fulton a lesson. This is how you work the Philly shell, like this. Ba-bam! That's how you do it. What? Yeah, right. That Junto's going to come in there and do anything Naoya Inoue has never seen. Yeah, right. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying. I mean, it's two ways. The hard way or the easy way with Naoya Inoue. It's either going to be a short night or a brutal drawn out knockout. That's what I feel. The man doesn't go to much scorecards. His record speaks for that. He doesn't go to a lot of scorecards. So me saying that he's going to knock out Junto, it's not a big, it's, oh my God, he's going to, bro, this is what he usually does. So if I had to bet that it's more than 75% in Naoya Inoue's favor that he knocks out his next opponent and that he knocks out Junto. That's what he does. So it's not a bad thing for me to say, oh, that's what he does. It's either he's going to do that or maybe Junto wins. I don't know. And if Junto was to win, congratulations. It would, like, my show is not called Naoya Inoue Show. I'm Round One Sports. I talk about all boxing. This is what I live for, to see if the champions are going to be defeated or dethroned and who's the next champion, like Abdullah Mason and Xander leading the way like real champions. Yo, that Abdullah Mason, man, I knew he was going to be a champion. Abdullah, baby, play it smart. Develop as a champion, baby. Don't feed into this social media bullshit. Fight the best. You don't fight. But you're young. You're young. You have a whole career to build, baby. Everybody's going to say, oh, he picked it. Don't shut that noise down. Go out there, fight these other guys, destroy them. Fight former world champions, the next number one or the number two or the number three, those kind of guys, and dominate. And you might not be fighting the world champion right away or whatever, but let's see. Because look, I said this yesterday on the show that Andy Cruz is fighting Morataya. That's a good fight. Now, Andy Cruz, those kind of guys, the Keyshawn Davises, you know, Shakur Stevenson's down there, which Keyshawn Davis announced, I believe he's going to go up to 147 now. You know, I guess he's going to bypass 140. He was going to stop at 140 once upon a time. But I guess it's because, Shakur Stevenson is going to be fighting Teo, right? That's the only reason why I can think, because they're Call of Duty buddies. So I guess they don't want to be in the same division with the same goals because they're going to be in each other's ways. That's not going to work out. You know, if you're my friend, then get the fuck out of my way. If you're still standing in my way trying to hold me from my bro, I'm gonna have to run you over. You're stopping me from achieving my. It's not gonna work out. We're fighters. We can't become best friends in boxing. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I mean? So I guess Keyshawn gotta go to like to 147. And is that good or bad for Keyshawn? We'll find out. We'll find out. Time will tell. You know, but as far as like getting opportunity with 6 professional fights, Cruz is getting his shot. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that Cruz was rushed along in his career? Shit, with like every fight, they were jumping him up 5, 6, 7 rankings. It was fucking crazy. He was like one day he was like ranked number 12 or some shit. I remember this. And the next day he was like in the top 5. What the fuck is that? I was like, who did he beat? Like, I was like, but Cruz has some good fights. The one thing about Cruz, though, when you go back and look at his resume, this motherfucker started with 10-round fights. He ain't do no 4-round fights, no 6-round, no 8-round. He went. That's why, and his amateur record speaks. What we look it up, it was 135 or some shit. We looked it up the other day. So, okay, I could see that he didn't need like an orientation in boxing. You know, when like fighters start their career, they need those 4, 6, 8 rounds to develop. He didn't need that. So I could see with 6 fights, you can get a world title fight. Says Naoya Inoue got a title fight. If you're ready, you're ready. And if more titles, so the fight's in the book. So this fight is going to happen. I want to see what happens. I think Morataya is that kind of champion that is highly underestimated. He reminds me of the Mario Barrio of his division. Everybody thinks they could be Mario Barrio, but he still got that belt. Right? And everybody want to attack him because why? They think he's the weakest all the time. He's like that. And I think he got the potential to fuck up Andy Cruz. I think Morataya, he could beat him. But I could see Andy Cruz beating him too. I can. Andy Cruz is starting to look a little bit like Jerron Boots Ennis for some reason. Wonder why. Great googly moogly. Listen. Look, I'm trying to tell you. He does look like Jerron Boots Ennis a little, man. He's rubbing off. You know, he's with them. He's with the camp. They coaching his dad. That's his dad, Jerron's dad. So, you know, he look. I gotta admit, he does look good. You know, what I'm taught in boxing is that at this point in your career, it's supposed to be too early, but Andy's Cruz age is up there, bro. So you gotta move along with what you got because Father Time is not on his side. Yeah. So I could see Andy's situation is unique in a lot of different ways. So when you break down where he's at, you gotta be like, damn, man, like, yeah, you gotta see the urgency in his career. He's only gonna be around for so long. God only knows if you know he makes it to the multiple digits in fights and then retires. What is he gonna retire in his 14th fight? Shit, 14 fights. You're not even out of being a regular prospect in most cases. You're not even a contender in 14 fights in a pro career. He'll be retiring in 14 fights. Andy Cruz. That's crazy. Them Cubans, them Colombians and Cubans and them people from over there, they take your life. They take your life. All right. Damn, bro. 30 years old? I thought he was like 28, 29. He's 30 years old. Andy Cruz is 30 years old. He has 6 fights with 3 knockouts. Damn, Cuba took that life, Jack. Yeah, they did. They didn't release him. It took they took the best years of his life. Then go to America, live your dream at 30, going into your 30, like 28 years old and shit. He started his career. It's ridiculous. He started his career in 2023. Damn, bro. Yeah, we're not gonna have him much longer. He has 6 fights. He's 30 years old. Shit, he might not make it to 14 fights. I might have gave him a little too much. But these guys, they're forced to fight late in their career. Just like King Kong fought Deontay Wilder. And I think they lied about his age too. A lot of these guys are up there in age. You know what I mean? And they're coming from massive, massive amateur backgrounds. What is Andy Cruz amateur background again? Yeah, 135. He has 135 amateur fights, 9 losses, and 10 knockouts. And he's amateur. He's 30 years old. Damn. Damn. Well, yeah, in this case, yeah, title fight. Now, yeah. We want that. Yeah. Check please. Yeah, we'll take that title fight right now. Right now. If you're gonna cash in on your guy and also give him an opportunity at his dream. It's either sink or swim, baby. Right? Yeah. So in his case, I guess, but rightfully so. Like, okay, 6 fights. Who the fuck could he have beaten to award him a world title fight? Let's see here. Antonio Moran, no, Oscars and Givens. Let's be fair. I'm gonna look up his last fight. Jesus Christ. His last fighter was 17-6 with 2 losses, and he's been stopped 1 time. He's so far out of the ranking that they don't even have his fucking ranking up. He's not even ranked. Like he's like probably in the hundreds. Jesus Christ. They don't have a ranking for him. That's bad. So okay. No. Okay, so in that sense, all right. I can't make an argument that he legitimately fought, but the guys he fought were tough. Nah, check out these guys' record. Wait a minute. And wait, whoa. Sometimes it doesn't always tell the story. All right. Because you got to give the man credit for some of the shit he did. When he fought Juan Carlos, right? That motherfucker was 35-7. 35-7 on your debut. Name me any boxer that's fighting a 35-7 on day one. On day one. So, and then his next fighter had a record of 26-5. His next fighter was 14-2. His next fighter was 30-6. Antonio Moran was 30-6, right? His next fighter was 20-1. Omar, he was 20-1, right? And then his next fighter was 17-1. And then now he's going to fight Raymond Morataya. And this is Andy Cruz's record. So with the 6 guys that he did fight, maybe they're not big. I mean, some of them did some shit in boxing. Yes, they did. Right? He did fight for only 6 fights, like I would say good competition. Not one of those guys that I named had even close to a losing record. Not even close. It wasn't like some of these guys fights. You see some of these bullshit fights. It's like the guy got 77 losses and 3 wins. And he fought that guy. 77 losses or 45 losses, right? You see those kind of records. So I got to be honest, and I got to be fair with Andy Cruz's record. The amount of the kind of fighters he fought starting off the gate in comparison to the push that they gave him due to the fact to his age. And that's why I always talk about boxing as an individual, case by case sport. Not everybody's in the same situation. Not everybody's in the same place in their career. And not everybody has the same ambition to unify. Some champions like to be a one belt champion and they're okay with that. Rolly. And he's okay with publicly coming out and ducking Devin Haney. And his excuse is Devin Haney's boring. No, he's not. Devin Haney would whoop your ass, Ryan, Rolly. I'm sorry. And you know it, Rolly. Devin would whoop your ass. Devin's not going to drop the ball like he did with Ryan on that first fluke. That shit's going to go out the window. Devin Haney will box your head off. And as far as, he don't sell, or what, Turkey got to deal with him. He's going to get 11 point whatever or 10, whatever it is. It's going to be the same dollar amount, whether it's you, him. So, Rolly, shut up. You just don't want to fight him. Come on, Rolly. I would have respect you to just I know the pressure. Then why? Why don't you want to fight him? Explain, Rolly. I understand. I get it. But you should have just been like, Dev's a great champion, this and that. But I got other plans. I'll catch him on the next one or something. I kept it pushing. Rather than trying to discredit Devin to give the reason why you don't want to fight him. No, nobody in the world believes that. Devin's back, baby. You see, I hit whatever therapy he says it worked. Beat the brakes off Brian Norman Jr. Oh, he back. Yeah. Nah. And he called you out, Rolly. So some champions are okay with just being having one belt. They might feel like they're good, they're great, but they're just not the best. And they're okay with that. They see, though that guy might be a little better than me, but I'm still champion. I could do something else. I don't have to fight you. I could do whatever I want with my belt. Or if I got to fight my mandatory, but my mandatory is not you. So I don't really owe you shit. I could just keep fighting my mandatories at my job, doing the right thing, remaining champion. So what's wrong with doing that? Oh, you're not unifying. Yeah, I know. That's not my ambition. Those are your dreams and aspirations. I'm good with just being a one belt champion. All right? So go that way. Go ask the other guys to unify. I'm going to fight my guys. There is actually nothing wrong with that. See? The only thing that guy cannot do ever is say he's better than the other champions. Don't fuck up. Just say you're better than the guys in your division. Say you'll knock out those guys. But the minute you open your mouth, you start saying, I ain't fighting him because I'll knock him out. It'll be easy work, lightweight. No, he doesn't sell. I'm better than him. Blah, blah, blah. No. Now you got to back that shit up. Now we're going to hold you to that. Rewind the tape. Hey, you stop him in the hallway. What's that shit you said about Devin? Well, I never said it. Hey, I'll whoop Devin's ass. What? They're going to hold you to that. You know the internet's undefeated. So as a fighter, he just got to be smart. Like and pick and choose their time. Just like everybody right now is finding it the right time to fight Naoya Inoue. Wow, really? Now's the right time? It wouldn't be that its stock is at an all-time high, and you're probably going to make 4 times the money you ever made in any other fight. That has nothing to do with it, right? And that Naoya Inoue did this. Because apparently, are you making millions by yourself? Headlining events? I'm just asking. Are you still fighting on co-main event cards? Any of these guys that want to call them out? Are the guys at 126, all those guys headlining their belts like Nick Ball is? It's not a coincidence that they want to fight this guy because of what he built. This is the Naoya Inoue show. They just want to be a guest host. That's it. And with Naoya Inoue, it's not like any of the other champions or big payday fighters. Like I explained. It's nothing like that. The way you could win a fight with Naoya Inoue, make your way all the way up the ranking, become the number one, he'll fight you. He'll fight you. It's not like you're going to be overlooked. Every guy in order will get it. Will get it. And it's not like at 168, you like, hey, any like it was like at 168 pounds, it must have felt like the Price is Right. Saul Canelo Alvarez is on stage, and you know how at the end they got the two booths of the last two contestants? Saul's on stage. All the boxers in the division at 168 are in the audience. And they said, and the next contestant is Edgar Berlanga. Come on down. And Edgar jumped up and went running down to Saul. It was like that. No one knew who was going to get their shot. No one knows who's going to fight Tank Davis. All of a sudden, Tank Davis pulled the okie doke. Everybody in the division was like, who's going to get the fight? Who's going to get the fight? And this motherfucker went Lamont Roach. And they were like, but he's not even in this division. And he jumped, Lamont Roach, come on down. Yay. Yo. Like, but with Naoya Inoue, it's not like that. It's literally the fucking order. Whatever the order is, next. Bro, that's the most honest way, like, right? So, and then what trumps that? What trumps that? The order. You got to be a star. You got to bring something. It's got to be big. So you have to have a good name. That usually can jump the line. But you bring something. And that means that if you bring something, what does that say? People want to see you fight that person. So that's why the people are like, yo, get the fuck out of the end of the line. Let this guy cut. You, back there. Come up here, bang, bang. Yeah. Junto Nakatoni, come here. Move up to the head of the line. Because you can't, because we actually want to see that. That's why we want it. You see? So, but that's Naoya Inoue's order. That's what he has. You got to go up to a bigger weight division. There's a whole bunch of big dudes up there like, yeah, we waiting for you. Espinosa's like, let's go, Nick Ball. Come on. They're all like pacing back and forth. Let's go, Naoya. Like, come on. And they're like, and he's like looking this way and he's looking down and Junto and Bam Rodriguez is coming up. He's surrounded. And that's when Naoya Inoue's like, it's time to lock in, baby.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
That's Inoue, baby. Yo, the champ music goes off, and y'all wanna come with it. Naoya Inoue is no joke, bro. That boy, man, and they all want to fight, but truth be told, he's the most honorable way to get it. He is. Like, he didn't do no trickery, fuckery shit, right? He didn't just let Junto Nakatoni jump over Alan David Picasso. Even though rightfully so, check this out. Alan David Picasso technically gave up his spot in line, technically, because he was offered the fight in Las Vegas and entered Roman Cardenas, right? Okay. So he technically didn't have to honor that. I don't think that WBC mandatory, right? Because, and then he fought MJ, but maybe, yeah, that's right. David Allen Picasso got a fight in between and got his ranking back. Yeah, because he had a fight. Yeah, so they could dress it up like that. Yeah, so so he could become the number one again. But my point was, he still didn't allow Junto to jump over that with a big name. He could have took this Junto fight now. Naoya Inoue said, I don't want to hear no excuses. I'll take the mandatory first. I'll take him first, and then you next, because now I've met my obligations. So far this year, Naoya Inoue tried to honor 3 mandatories. 3 mandatories. Just remember that. For all belts, because the order will go, whatever the order is, I guess WBC's on top now. We can much agree to that. Whoever comes next, is it the IBF, the WBA, is it the WBO, right? And we all know how the WBO's been rocking of late. If the WBO, this belt, offers you a fight, you're the number one guy, and you decline the fight, they take you out of the ranking. The entire ranking, too. Not just your number one spot. They take you out of the entire ranking. Now, upon whatever you choose to do, because they're not going to offer you a title fight, you fight whoever you fight. As soon as your fight is concluded, they'll put you back on the ranking. Where they rank you, I don't know how that works. I don't think you'll get your number one spot back. Shit, if they put you 15, you got to work your way back up. So the WBO is holding their fighters to a higher standing. Are you or are you not a world champion? Are you just hanging around and trying to become William Cepeda, the number one across the board, but not fighting any champion, right? Until Shakur, of course, right? Of course. But there was once upon a time. So what I'm saying is that, the order of Naoya Inoue's belts, that right there, was he's going to honor the WBC, and then he's going to fight a big name in Junto. And then he's allowing Junto to fight on his card so that Junto can officially say he's in that weight division. By the time they meet up, he would already fought a fighter at 122, Junto, which is going to be Sebastian Hernandez right now. So, but I'm concerned with that fight with Junto because Sebastian Hernandez, he doesn't offer anything like Naoya Inoue. And I really strongly feel that Alan David Picasso is like a fucking great fighter to go into fighting Junto. So I feel strongly that way. What do you guys think about that? And do you really think that at the end of the day, Junto, when you really look, some people become a prisoner in the moment when you look at Junto's record. I mean, you can look at his record and say it's 31 and 24 knockouts. It's pretty impressive, and he does have 3 divisions. Junto, he's a 3-division world champion. Remember that. So, look, the only thing that can, oh shit, yeah, baby, my hat has arrived. Yeah, my package arrived. I bought myself a little hat. Yeah, man. Look, guys, I just love this fight in a lot of different ways. I think that this card, the Night of the Samurai, is gonna play out a good rivalry here against Mexico. And I'm just telling you guys here first at Round One Sports Talk. Don't be surprised that these Mexican dudes, some of them might just pull a big upset, and it could be in the biggest fight in this fight. So, where are you gonna be when these two warriors enter the ring and Riyadh sees it and Naoya Inoue, the monster, enters the ring once again, giving a fighter the biggest opportunity boxing can offer, a shot at all four belts and the Ringside Magazine and the right to be called the best fighter in the world. Listen, fight fans, I love you guys. I'm going to go get something to eat, grab this package. I'll probably see you guys tonight. Hop on. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Damn it, we got 94 people watching. I don't know if we could just hop off right now. You know what I mean? But listen, I will be back on tonight. We'll talk more about this fight. Let's not talk about everything right now. We'll save a little bit. Everybody, please give me that thumb. We got 94. Let's get 94 thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this video up to 100, and that'll be our goal. So, fight fans, love yourselves, and I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk.